there, everybody. Welcome back in. It is Buccaneer Insider. We are back. We took the week off. We reset. We've got a plan now. We know what we're doing. Killian McClatchy, Nicholas Case, we're back.
Yeah, we took a week off because I gave myself a haircut immediately after the last episode, and it needed at least a week to look decent.
Yeah, that's probably true. Protect the public.
Yeah. I regretted it, but whatever. We're here. We move on.
It looks good now. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Either way, enough of Nick's hair. Nobody wants. I think everybody's fine with not knowing more about that. But no, welcome back in. We've got a great show planned this week. We talked to the women's golf head coach, Jordan Jeffers. It was great getting to chat with him, and really just it's always fun talking golf.
Yeah, and he's been there. He's kind of another new person that we really haven't had a lot of chance to talk to. So it was really good to actually get to know him. He's one of those where you kind of pass him the halls, and we don't broadcast it, so we don't have a lot of in-depth conversations. So it was good to really get to know him.
Yeah, I think it was my first time actually having a real conversation with him. It was fun chatting with him, fun to get to know a little bit more about him. And then our second interview of this week, we've got Phlandrous Fleming Jr, guard for the men's basketball team, and it's always fun to chat with Flan and see what he's up to. And it seems like he's staying busy, trying to teach himself how to cook a little bit more, pick up some new recipes.
Yeah, Flan's a good dude. He's a good story to root for, and yeah, I've got a personal encounter with him that we'll talk about during the interview. But it really grew me to appreciate him, and it's been great to see him flourish in those 2 years since then.
And so we got to chat with him. So we're going to get onto that. First off, it's going to be Jordan Jeffers. But before, can't forget our presenting sponsor, East Bay Deli. I want to thank them for helping us put this on each and every week. Don't forget, you can check out East Bay Deli, carry out, delivery, whatever you need. Go and check them out. Get yourself something to eat over there. But enough of us talking. Let's get to our first interview as Jordan Jeffers, head coach for the women's golf team. Welcome in. We've got our first guest this week. It is the head coach for the women's golf team, Jordan Jeffers. And Coach, welcome in. It's a pleasure to get to see you. I think this is my first time ever actually speaking to you, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think so. I thank y'all for having me on. And yeah, I think so. I think we've run into each other once, but just in passing. So
I think one of the last times we really talked is I recommended Tiki Taco to you, which not quite our host, our sponsor, East Bay Deli, but not too bad, if I may say so.
Oh, definitely. No, I really actually Jeff Barber took me there on my first day, and it was very good, very good. I'm from Texas, where we have some very good Mexican food, and my wife and I, that's kind of our thing is for Mexican food. So we've been able to try pretty much all of them, and all three of the tiki tacos we've actually tried too, since you've said that. So that's the good part.
If you get the chance to talk to Coach McMillan, when he was on, he said his big thing is Mexican food.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so I told him I'd have some recommendations. So if you want to have some recommendations for him as well, I think he'd appreciate that.
I will. Yeah, we actually ate at one really good that was down in Hanahan not very long ago. So it was the best one we've had so far. I think it was Nortiento.
La Norteña or something? Yeah, La Norteña. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Mm-hmm. It's a good spot.
It's very good. Very good. So
right. Well, this has been our restaurant week. We'll talk to you later.
No, I mean, first off, how have you been? I know it's been a couple of months since everything's happened. Kind of what have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been good. It's definitely been one of the strangest times of my coaching career so far. Really, it was very disappointing, just like it is for probably all the coaches up to this point, because we were really on an upswing. We just got back from River Landing at UNCW's tournament and had a decent showing there, but we were really kind of hitting our stride at the time. And for us to have everything canceled, it was disappointing, but we did a lot that we built off of, and our progress throughout the year was very solid. But really at the beginning of all of this, my wife and I had moved into a new home, and we didn't really have a chance to get everything settled around the house, and she had just started a new job. And so it gave us a chance to really get everything settled here and really get to know our neighbors, that kind of thing. And but then after that, really, I just kind of went into the evaluation of what little season we did have and really just kind of get into what we need to do to be better for next year. Really, we had a lot of high points, but we had a lot of things that we can do better. And I'm looking forward to the girls getting back. It's really one of those things that we're just trying to build off every season over the next several ones to get to what our goal is as a conference championship. And this season, really, we progressed a good amount, and I look forward to them getting back here. It's kind of it's really, some days seem like they float by, and I'm ready for it to be over, but then sometimes it's just like, okay, well, let's get things started.
You mentioned kind of evaluating the season, and obviously a shortened one. What kind of goes into it as a golf coach? How do you kind of evaluate your season? Obviously, things have changed up a little bit, but typically, what do you look for?
Right. Well, really, I just go back over the different golf courses and the different tournaments that we played in. Just try to see what our stats look like throughout the year at different courses and different areas, and then also just different parts of our game, specifically like driving accuracy, greens and regulation. I kind of go back through mentally on different players where I was at on different golf courses on certain rounds, and the notes that I had taken previously, I kind of go back over them in my mind and just try to figure out ways I can nudge them a little bit better than I possibly did at the time. And then think of drills and research drills that I can give them when they come back to better kind of help prepare them for that. Really, that's the whole fall semester. Whenever I first got here, that's really more or less was trying to feel out everyone, feel out what we were going to be as a team. And really, we were able to do that. And then we got into the spring semester, and we were starting to get better and better.
Now, it was your first year.
Now we just
Sorry.
What's that? Sorry.
I know it was your first year. It did get cut short, but what was your proudest thing, your biggest accomplishment, and what was a truncated season?
Really, I would say our continued progress in different areas. We, of course, kind of golf is the reflection of life in a lot of ways. There's ups and downs, and there's definitely the mountaintops and the valleys of our games. And really, everybody on the team had different valleys throughout this year, but they all really did an amazing job of working their way back. I mean, we had one that had surgery, had to come back from that, and then we had others that just had just difficulties with different parts of their game, but they really put in the time. They really worked hard to get in the right mindset moving into our conference championship. That's kind of what our buildup is when we get into the spring, we're doing what we need to be doing to build up and peak at the right time. And really, that's my most proud moment, really, was during the spring semester. They were really working hard to peak at the right time and really trying to get in the right mindset.
How has the team handled everything that's happened? And, how have you kind of been in touch with them and just kind of being there for them, really?
Right. Yeah. It's really kind of it's a mixed bag, really, because everybody's in a different area, honestly. We have one player that's in Ecuador, and they're shut down completely still. And we have players that were in the UK that was shut down for longer than what we were. They're just now getting back to where the golf courses are opened up, and they're ready to go. They're back on the golf courses. They're back doing some really good training, getting prepared for possible summer tournaments. But really, even for them, all the RNA events and the big English women's golf stuff is all canceled, which is what they prepare for, year long. So it's really disappointing for them that their training really didn't get to come to fruition on a lot of things, especially with Ellen Hume that won the English women's amateur last year. She was ready to get back and get into some of those other tournaments to try to show what she was capable of, and now they're canceled, unfortunately. But it's really kind of a different scenario for everybody. I mean, Sarah Hamid's over in Arizona, and she's been able to get out the golf course more than probably everybody because the course has been open. And then here with Catherine and different players here that are incoming, they've been able to get out and do some good things and try to keep active, and it's really just different for everybody. And I basically, for me, for a lot of the rest of the semester, I wanted them to focus a lot on their academics and getting that situated, because transferring from in classroom to it at a classroom and online fully can be a tough transition, especially if you're right in the middle of something that's important. So I really wanted them to focus on that. And I was really proud of their GPA. We had a really good team GPA this semester. And that's all because of them. They did a great job getting that where it needs to be, and kind of getting that settled to where our team goals are to have high GPAs and low scores. That's what we're here to do.
Now let's focus away from their scores to your scores. How do you feel you did in your first year at Charleston Southern?
Right. Well, I'll say I haven't got to play as much as I would like up to this point. I've been trying to, of course, get to know the girls. I've been able to play with them a little bit, but I've been wanting to do more evaluating. I want to see how they do things, and I wanted to really just spend my time with them and in their mind and in their game. For me, I'm very fortunate. I actually have a wife that is an accomplished golfer. She was a collegiate golfer in junior college and Division I. And so I've actually been really fortunate to have her to be able to play normally, but we haven't been able to play as much since all of this because we've been trying to stay at home, that kind of thing. But really, my scores, I really just try to work with them on different parts of their game. Between men's and women's games, it's a little bit different. Guys are really, their distance is a lot more significant in a lot of ways. So I have to try to put myself in their shoes and what they're going through and how their games are. One thing that's so unique about the sport of golf is it's so personal. Everything is so personal to everyone. And I, as a coach, have to try to find those niches for every person I coach to try to push them in the right direction. Because one thing for one player is definitely not going to get me in them in the right situation as it might be for somebody else on the golf course. So that's what I do, spending time with them individually. That's what I try to do to try to get the most out of them. But for me, I really just use my experiences from whenever I played collegiate golf, and my scores are certainly not where they used to be because I probably wouldn't be doing my job if my scores were as low as they were once upon a time.
We talked to Coach Payne, the men's coach, and he mentioned how he doesn't really get the chance to get out and play as much. Is that something? Do you still kind of try to make time now that you're coaching to go out and play every once in a while? I
do. I get probably the most play time during the summer. It's really not really during the season. During the fall and our spring seasons, I try to maintain, which is I try to go out and hit putts. I try to hit some short game shots, that kind of thing. I don't really play. The reason why I do that is because if somebody calls me over and asks me a question, I like to be able to know that my green reading's decent right now. They're good right now because I've hit putts myself. Everybody, and it's something that you have to do as a coach, is you have to hit some putts to try to remember and try to keep that feel around the greens. But when it comes to long game and playing 9 holes, that kind of thing, I really might do it a few times. And I might play with the girls for fun because maybe have an odd number and we play match play or something like that. But really, Coach Payne is correct. It's not really something that we're going to get into, is playing a bunch. I'm lucky to have a wife that we get out and do it as a hobby. We like to play together, and she likes to beat me. So it's one of those where I probably play 10 times a year, full 18 holes. And it's really here and there, maybe play a few holes with the girls or throw down some shots with them. But if I was playing more, I really don't feel like I'd be getting done what I need to get done, which is, part of it. But that's what vacation's for, with the wife.
So your wife was a golfer. Did you guys have a meet cute on the links? Like you reach into the ball in the hole for the same ball, and that's you guys locked eyes for the first time and fell in love, or just out of coincidence?
It was actually more of a long-term over time thing because she actually played at Houston Baptist University whenever I was playing on the men's team. So she was there. She had just been at McLennan Junior College, and then while I was at Odessa Junior College, and then we ended up meeting at Houston Baptist University. She spent 2 years there, and so did I. And so we ended up meeting and then staying in touch over time. And then I actually moved back to Houston Baptist and was an assistant coach. And that's whenever we ended up getting engaged and married.
No, that's cool.
So it was kind of it was a good, it's one of those where I'm very fortunate to have the wife I do, that she definitely pushes me on the golf course. I need to practice more because she actually probably plays more than I do, which is saying something. She gets to play in the corporate events and that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say go back. I was gonna say kind of take yourself back to college between the two of you. I mean, obviously it's a hypothetical, but who would you say would come out with a lower score?
Oh, well, I'd say it'd be different, probably just depending on the years. Really, maybe even semesters. So whenever we're playing kind of at our peak performance, it might be one or the other, honestly. She actually, her team won the NJCAA National Championship her freshman year. So she's very accomplished. And so it would probably just depend. I'll say that since we've been married, we're about 50-50 on who beats who. So I'll just say that.
What's your favorite course?
Nice. I was gonna say, it's good to-
Favorite course?
Yeah.
Here in town or anywhere?
We'll do both. How's that?
Well, I'll say I've only got a chance to play a few here in town. I'd say my favorites so far here in town, Oak Point. I've really enjoyed getting to play that one. They're great out there, letting us out and practicing occasionally. Also, I've got the chance to take the girls up to Santee Cooper Country Club up on Lake Marion, and I was really impressed with that place. We got to go up there a couple times, and it's just really good layout. But really, I probably liked Key Island the best. I'm looking forward to one day when I get to play the Ocean Course. I haven't had a chance to yet. I was planning on taking the team there in between our conference championship and our last tournament of the regular season in April, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I'm looking forward to getting out there. Coach Payne's been telling me a lot about it, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there.
Coach Payne did promise us a round at the Ocean Course. So, maybe
nice.
you can work.
Yeah, so it must be a foursome. I'm in on that.
Maybe, yeah, we can work something in there. We can try to work something out.
Definitely. That's the thing. I love going down there because it just reminds me of the Texas coast as well, where you're on campus and then you go down on the coast anywhere and it's just so windy. And I grew up in West Texas where the wind's blowing 20, 30 miles an hour every day almost. So I really feel at home in the wind.
Do you notice when it comes to you recruiting, kind of just how the players and the play style between here in the States and internationally, are there big differences that you notice in how the players approach things? And obviously they play different courses all over the world, but is that something you kind of really notice?
Yes, I would say for different parts of the country, or different parts of the world, I'd say yes. And I would even say different parts of the United States, players are different in some ways. I mean, the players that play in the North compared to the players that play in Florida and the South that have good weather all the time. You can tell that they're not as ready to play in bad weather and whenever they're younger. And sometimes when they get into college, they figure out how to get away with that. And that's players from Europe. They're used to playing in some pretty poor weather, and because they want to get out and prepare for their tournaments during the summer. But if they get out early in the spring, then it's not going to be good weather. So they got to find a way to get the ball around. Sometimes you have players that are more bump and run style players. They like to keep the ball low around the greens. Whenever in the United States, you don't see that as much as a whole, as a group, because you'll see people pulling out 60 degrees and hitting a lot of high flop shots on whenever they don't need to. But you'll see a lot of link style players from, say, Scotland, Ireland, England, those types of places that they're fine with letting the ball run out because that's how those courses are designed to be played. So they're used to it. But really, it just depends. And then also you have players from Asia that play longer golf courses as juniors. So they're used to using hybrids and 5 woods, 7 woods, that type of thing. That's more, it doesn't happen as much 7 woods, but hybrids. They're used to using those more because they grew up playing longer golf courses than, say, kids from the United States. So there is subtle differences, but I would say that it all comes down to score, really, numbers. We want to be at below 300 as a team. I mean, that's a goal for us as a scoring average. So those numbers add up. We need 375s and 174. So it's one of those where that's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for players to come in to beat my players that I have now or push them. So that's really it's really everybody's, just like I said earlier, personal. It's really personal to everywhere in the world and everybody individually. And it's just fun to try to find those diamonds in the rough. That's the fun part.
You mentioned playing in bad conditions. Did you get a chance to watch the match?
Yes, I did. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was comical, of course, but it also shows the competitive nature of just elite athletes. It's something where whenever Brady made that shot from the fairway, I mean that was epic, of course. But it was you could see how much he wanted it, because he was getting a hard time from Charles Barkley and everything, and just that drive is just so much to watch, even if it comes from Peyton Manning and Tom Brady on the golf course. But also, as you could tell Tiger and Phil, they wanted it. They really did. Even though it's not a major, they really wanted it. And it's something and I also enjoyed whenever the other match between Ricky and DJ and Matt Wolf and I'm trying to meet Rory. So yes, with those guys, I really enjoyed that match because Rory had a really good quote where he said, it's a lot different when you're playing for somebody else's money, where he wasn't playing for his home, but he was trying to play for charity and trying to get his charity money. And he said it was a different kind of pressure, which I feel like team golf is that way. Team golf is significantly different compared to just going out and playing individually, because you're playing for your team. You're playing for a goal that you've worked for so hard together for so long. And it can be, the pressures can be building not just on yourself and what you want to do personally, but what you want to do as a team.
Are there any courses, just pretty much anywhere in the world, if somebody said, hey, I'll snap my fingers and I can take you there right now, we'll play around. Where would you want to go?
Ooh, that's a good question. I, of course, would love to play St. Andrews in Scotland. That would probably be the one I would like to play. I don't even have dreams of playing Augusta National, so I don't even think about that. I was very fortunate to be able to take my dad there last year for the Masters, and just being able to get to see that and watch so many great players play. That was a dream come true. So, but I would certainly love to go to Scotland and see St. Andrews and some of the other courses that are, hundreds of years old. I think that's something that's one of my dreams.
I'm going to preface this by saying I'm going to make sure my wife does not watch this episode, which I don't think she has watched one to date, so I'm safe. But I made the mistake of getting married in early April. So I can never say I want to go to the Masters, because nothing's going to say great anniversary trip like Augusta, Georgia.
Oh man, if you end up getting some practice round tickets with her, I think she would. I think she would enjoy it. Even my buddies that wives don't play, I tell you that it's such a beautiful place. I mean, it's something that TV obviously doesn't do it justice, and it might be a once in a lifetime thing that she would enjoy. But I can understand that. I can understand that for sure.
Way to go, Nick.
I didn't plan it out well. What can I say? It was 4 days before my mom's birthday.
What you said, it was always pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 days before my mom's birthday, so I said her birthday present is a daughter-in-law. There you go, and I got off for a year. So.
There you go. I got you.
I have one more question, and then Killian could take it from there. And that's yourself included. Aside from us and Coach Payne at the Ocean Course, what is your dream foursome?
Ooh, dream foursome. I'd say, I always want to include my dad, because it's something that is great about the game of golf, is that you get to play a lifetime with a family member. I'd say from there, I would love to play with Jack Nicklaus. He was my dad's hero. As growing up, I heard everything about the Golden Bear. And then from there, I would probably have to go with Bobby Jones. I would love to watch that man play golf. It's something that, I was able to take our women's golf team, or our golf team, to the World Golf Hall of Fame on the way to one of our tournaments, and just getting to see the old types of clubs and the old balls and everything, and just to be able to think about how that man was able to accomplish what he did, while at the same time, becoming a lawyer and holding all those championships at one time. I'd love to be able to watch that guy play. That's something I would love to do.
Awesome. Pretty It's a pretty good. I was gonna say I think it's close to the two of us and you and Coach Payne. I would say
Yeah.
they're neck and
That's
neck.
1A, 1B.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Hey, hey, ocean course on the weekend. That would be pretty close. That sounds like a pretty good weekend to me.
All right, us on the ocean course, or your dream foursome at Coosaw Creek.
Ooh, I'd have to probably go with my dream. I'd have to do that. I love Coosaw too. Coosaw is a great place, and I know we'd have a good time. But I think I'd go dream, and then I'd call you off, and we'd go play the next day or something.
All right, that's acceptable.
That'd probably be smart. You'd probably have to end up, it'd take us 8 hours and around on the ocean course. We'd be fishing balls out of the water.
When you're on courses that are that beautiful and that historic, hours just you want to stay out there all day. Those hours go by so fast that 8 hours is fine with me. I'll do that all day long if that's what y'all want to do.
Awesome. Well, I was gonna say I'll leave you with this one last question. Kind of looking forward to next season and next year. What's kind of your goal? What's your goal as the coach? What are your hopes for the team as everything hopefully gets back going?
Right. Our goal as a team is to, of course, get into the conference championship and play at our peak and really perform to our ability and what we're capable of and win. I mean, that's our goal. Our goal is to peak at the right time and get there and really be prepared mentally to take on the best teams in our conference currently. Really, we are more than capable of doing that. We have a strong girls coming back, and we have strong girls coming in. And that's what we're going to be building on for a whole year, which is different for our sport because we start in August and we end in May, really. So it's something that we've got to constantly be working towards and keep our culture moving in the right direction. That's our ultimate goal is that what we talk about. We have to consistently talk about winning because that's what we want to do. That's what we're here to do, and that's what our goal is. And as long as we keep progressing day, week to that day.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, really for the first time, at least for myself.
Well, yeah,
it's great
meet up again soon.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully everything we can all get back on campus and see each other around there.
Sounds good. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
really
Coach.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
A great time chatting with head coach for the women's golf team, Jordan Jeffers. And Nick, got a little bit of a souvenir there, repping the squad.
This is going to be the ball that I use and quickly lose when you, me, Jordan, and Coach Payne actually finally go out to Kiowa. This will be gone by the first hole, probably by my first shot, shank it off the tee. This is what I'll use. From there, I don't know, but this is what I'm going to start.
We'll have to record. We'll have to think of something. We'll have to see. We can play a game and see how long you keep the ball, and it'll be like a challenge. We can see if we can get people to take guesses and see how many shots you can make it.
I like it. Coupon to East Bay Deli for the winner.
All right. We'll hold you to that.
Now we just need to go to.
That's true. Well, we'll figure that out. We got some time. But either way, great chatting with Coach. Again, reminder, East Bay Deli, our presenting sponsor. I want to really thank them for helping us put this on. Now to the second interview. It is Phlandrous Fleming Jr., the men's basketball team.
Kobe.
We welcome in our next guest for this week. It is player for the men's basketball team, Phlandrous Fleming Jr., a man with some little extra hardware after this past season. It's great getting to see you. How you been?
Been good, man. Been good. Trying to get back in the gym after this virus.
I was gonna say, so you've been kind of one thing just to get off the bat, and it's something that I kind of assume this is obviously not under the circumstances that any of us would want, but I'm assuming this is probably one of your first summers where you've had kind of a quote unquote break to kind of get away from everything and basketball, school, just kind of get back and reset yourself. How has it been for you?
It's been difficult. It's been fun. I've been trying to take on different things, try to learn different things. I've been cooking more. Been trying to figure out a way to work out at home. So it's been good. I think the virus has opened up a lot of different areas of my life. So I like it and I don't like it at the same time, but whatever.
What's the most unique thing you've learned over this?
The most unique thing. Um, I would say, like I said, I've grown into cooking, so I haven't really had the chance being our schedule is so crazy. And we go so many places so many times, so I've just been at home, calling my mom, asking her for recipes, and just asking her like, cause she makes this sweet tea is so good. I mean, ask her teach me how to do that, but yeah, just trying to learn how to cook more, and that's probably my most thing, the most unique.
I was hoping you'd say
What's
like piano or something. You learn piano. You could just go ahead and
No, I did not learn. I actually used to play the piano when I was younger, but I did not. I do not have a piano here to practice. So,
I was gonna say, what's kind of the flan the specialty? Obviously, we saw that you tried to make flan earlier, but what's your go-to right now?
oh, my go-to. Well, I love like chicken, fried chicken, fried pork chops. My go-to probably would be my pasta. I like Alfredo sausage Alfredo. Sorry. So I go. That's my go-to if I need a quick meal, a lot of carbs.
I was gonna say you got a homemade Alfredo sauce that you whip up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's homemade, but it's good.
out of a jar. Do you add something to what's out of the jar, or
Of course, of course.
uh,
I put a little. I can't give you my recipe, but it's a little spicy sausage Alfredo, so I put a little spice to it.
The secret spice.
The secret spice. There it is.
when are you going to be on Chopped?
Ooh, if I get famous, hopefully chop a seed that I can cook. Oh man.
Well, so I was gonna say one of the things that we've been talking about really with a lot of the students and being a student athlete, obviously having to leave classes. How is that transition for you going from in person to having to finish up online?
It's been difficult. It's been difficult. Having so much time on my hands, not having to go to class, and it just had to bring about a new discipline for me. Had to make me sit down and be like, you got to still got to go to class, still got to have class. But it's been difficult. It's a great learning experience because I have had online classes in the past, but this is different having all my classes online. So it's just been time management difficulties, but I've adjusted. I've adjusted pretty well.
I had a question and I completely forgot it. So go ahead, Killian. I'll try to bring it back.
Okay. No, I mean, you've you've done pretty much everything when it comes to CSU. And you came in, the kid from Athens, Georgia. Nobody knew that name, Phlandrous Fleming Jr. And over the last couple of seasons, you've gotten bigger, you've gotten stronger, and you've been putting up the numbers more. What's kind of your goal going into this next season? Is you even said you're trying to get yourself ramped back up and everything.
My goal is not to let people forget. Basically, like you just said, I had my breakout season last season. Um, a lot of people might think it's a fluke. A lot of people might think it's just a one season thing. But I want everybody to know that I'm here to work and I'm here to stay and let my name be known. And of course, to bring a championship to CSU because we in desperate need of one.
You're from Athens. November we go and play UGA. How excited are you?
Oh my goodness. I don't think y'all understand how excited I am. The last time I played there was my state championship game at Cedar Shoals. We ended up losing, but the atmosphere in there, if y'all could see the pictures, it was packed out. So I cannot wait to be able to play in front of my hometown. A lot of people are not able to come see me play 4 hours away or in different areas that we play, but this is 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes right. I live 15 minutes from the from Georgia campus, so I know my whole family's gonna be there. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So an entire section basically for Fleming. It's
I
just
think you
locked
might
up.
need the entire Coliseum.
Growing up that close to UGA, was that kind of growing up? Was that kind of like the dream of yours, saying like, "Hey, like I want to be there and be a Bulldog"? And is that kind of a mentality that you have going back?
um, it's a little bit of that, a little bit of that, because I didn't really want to go to UGA when I was a kid. I loved UGA football, but basketball wasn't really top of my list. But as I grew and I got into high school and I really thought about playing for your city, that's when it really grew on me. Like I wanted to play for them. But things didn't go that way. But so CSU was my choice, and I'm happy to be here. You know what I'm saying?
I know so when you were at Athletes in Action 2 years ago, we ran into each other in Dallas at the airport, and we had some time to talk just by coincidence. We were on the same flight. Um, and I didn't realize it was you until you waved at me. I was just pointing for a seat, and I ended up pointing at you, and you waved. And I was like, oh, Flan. Um, One of the things you said that still stuck out is, and we talk about this with other student athletes, is CSU is a small school, but for kids in Athens, they see it as a D1 school that you're going to. It's not just CSU. Do you still kind of carry that with you when you go out there? And especially with your breakout season, is that something that you're kind of, if you talk to people, you still emphasize, like, this is a small D1 school, but look what I'm doing at this school?
Exactly. Like when I was younger, well, not when I was young, but I was young in high school. My dad always told me it don't matter where you go, they're gonna always find the good players. So like I know that all these schools is bigger than us, and everybody's like, what is CSU? What is CSU? And I'm just like, just give me a couple of years, we're gonna let you know what CSU is. So that's how I carry with me. It's not about the school. It's not about how big the name is. It's not about that. It's about what you do there. That's why I try to emphasize to people and educate people with.
What's it like for you? We saw a list that came out. I think it was the other week, but it was kind of the top 5 players in CSU history, and then 2 of the names right up there at the top: Christian Keeling, who I feel like you probably know pretty well, and then obviously your coach Son Nimley. What's it like for you to kind of look at a list like that and go, "Wow, like I'm really like right there with those guys"?
Yeah, I was really shocked. I did not expect for my name to be up there. And I knew Christian's name was going to be there. I knew Nim's name was going to be up there. And those are some of the greatest players that ever come to CSU. But me and I have another year here. Hopefully, I can move up in the rankings. But I was just shocked and I was amazed. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I was lost for words.
You said you've been working out at home. What if some of the workouts been?
Little minor things I've been doing. Been running, of course. Been trying to stay in shape. Doing agility workouts with the bands and jumping and like squats and um, push-ups, sit-ups, stuff like that. But now we're getting into there's a phase we're getting into getting back into the gym, and we're doing it because we all took the coronavirus test, and now they starting to screen us every day so we can get in the gym, get in the weight room, and 6 feet apart, of course. Only a couple people can be in there. Um, but yeah, I'm slowly getting back into it. My body's sore, but as long as I can keep doing what I'm doing, then I'll be fine.
Have you been able to kind of keep in touch with the guys during all this? I think I saw you and Travis Anderson. I think you guys hung out just a little bit at the start of all this. But how's your teammates been handling it all?
Oh, we've all been hanging out when they're here. My roommates are here, but our freshmen that was here, they're at home. So I mean, we be all talking. We got a group chat. We always talking and conversating. Our coach, we always have a Zoom meeting every Friday, so everybody's on the Zoom meeting and we're talking and trying to stay in touch and stay together because this time could bring us apart or it could bring us closer. So we're trying to do the latter.
How has it been kind of involving the freshmen and getting them in the team in a really just a different way?
Oh, it's been really difficult. It's been really difficult. They usually get up here and we usually play pickup and they hang out with us during the summer and stuff. But it's been difficult. I've been trying to call them, contact them, see how they're doing, make sure they feel like family because CSU is a family. So it's been difficult. It's been different, but I think it's going to grow stronger in the year because I think they're excited to get here. They're ready to work, and yeah, can't wait.
Has it kind of hit you that, we mentioned you came in here and you had guys like Christian before you to kind of lead, and now, that it's you. You're that guy. You're the the old guy on the team looking to try and lead everybody. What's that kind of like for you?
Well, it hasn't hit me that I'm the old guy yet.
I was gonna say, now that I said it, now you're gonna be thinking about it.
All right, but along with me, I have three other guys that came in with me. So I don't like to think of nobody less than me or higher than me. So I think we all lead in our own way. But being the guy, I guess you could say, I was just trying to keep my knowledge and going down to my other players and just allow them to see how hard I work and hopefully they'll follow or even work harder. So that's the only thing I really could say about that.
Last year didn't go as planned, just freak injuries. How hungry are you for this year?
Man, we cannot wait. If we can stay healthy, that'll be the key. If we can stay healthy, we'll be fine. We're gonna do a lot of big things for the CSU. But last year was a bummer. Having to play 40 minutes every game was tiring and stressful. It was a blessing in disguise because I learned so much, and I got to have my breakout season as like we was talking about. But next year, hopefully, I don't have to do that. We can all have a great rotation and we can win a lot more games.
Had you ever had to do something like that? Especially nowadays in college basketball, you don't see guys that are going out there every single night having to play 40 minutes. And the unfortunate circumstances is you had to be out there pretty much every minute. Had you ever had to deal with something like that?
Well, in high school, it's kind of different because they don't play 40 minutes, but I did play the whole. I think it was 32, 8 minute. I think it's 32.
Yeah.
32. I did that a lot because, like last year, the high school leaned on me a lot too. My senior year, especially during the state championship run, we had a lot of injuries. One of my guys from home had a torn meniscus. He played. Um, we had a lot of injuries, ankle injuries. There's just a lot of stuff going on, but they played through it, but they didn't play to the best of their ability because they was injured. But coach said my coach from home wouldn't trust me without me on the bench. He even trust not having me on the court. You see what I'm saying? So I have done that, but it was nothing like last year. Last year was crazy. I think it was how many games we played with 7 people, 6 people.
It was a
It was
lot.
just
Basically the last half of the season, yeah.
yeah.
So so what are your feelings on load?
You don't have to go to the end.
What are your feelings on load?
I do not believe in low management. I believe in good rest sometimes, but if you're expected to play, you got to play. So that's how I feel about low management.
Your game is I mean, I say it's pretty well rounded. I mean, that's obviously me just sitting there watching you every single night. But what do you feel like is something that you need to, there's what's that one part of your game that you feel like you can kick up just one more level?
That's exactly what I'm trying to work on this summer. My 3-point game, man. If I can get my 3-point game higher, I think I shot 25%. I progressively went down my 3 years. My freshman year, I shot like 44, 43. My sophomore year, I shot like 35, 36, and I went down to 25%. And it could be because of the amount of players we had, fatigue, and I had to take certain shots at certain times. But hopefully, my senior year, I can bounce that back up to like 40, 42% from three. But that is my goal for this year is to shoot a lot better, shoot the 3 ball a lot better.
How many times are you going to drag Killian onto SportsCenter next year?
Hopefully a lot. I'm working on on bouncing this too, so I can dunk on a few people.
I like that. I know one more thing, just when it kind of comes to a little bit of, your journey to CSU, and we already kind of touched on, going from Athens to CSU and it being kind of the small school. What would you say to recruits that are coming in and kids, kids that were like in your situation, not necessarily getting a ton of looks from everywhere, but you've got the opportunity right here at this D1 school. What would you say to them?
Make the best of it. Hard work pays off. That's all you can do especially in the small school where people don't usually see you. Like in Athens, there wasn't a lot of colleges visiting. There wasn't a lot of people coming to see me play in my school because we wasn't really a predominantly basketball school. So CSU found me, and I was so grateful that they did. And that's all I can say to the kids: make sure you work hard no matter where you go, because good talent will be found. It will be found. And if you got dreams of playing pro, if you got dreams to go to the NBA, you got dreams of all that, good talent will be found. They're going to find you, especially because of social media and so many cameras are everywhere and you get so much exposure. You will be found if you work hard and produce.
Let's see the lights. What you got back there?
Okay. See that? Oh, shoot. That's the wrong one. Got all different colors.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
It goes when I speak. It moves when I speak.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's Star Wars stuff right there. I've seen some photos of your apartment. What are the jerseys on the wall? Who you got?
Oh man. I have. You want to show me? You want me to show you?
Yeah.
I got AI, Ben McAdoo. I got Clyde Drexler. I got, of course, Go MJ. Oh, I forget who this. I don't know these two. I think this is Nixon. I can't remember his name. We got Kevin Garnett. Forget this dude right here. I don't know this dude. These was all given to me. Archibald. Archibald.
An ultra one. Yep. I like the it's history. It's not just like Harden and Chris Paul and local like new guys. It's history. It's older guys too. I like that.
Of course. So, yeah, a little different stuff.
I mean, you can see the background here. My entire room is like that. I'll send you a video later of what my room looks like. But so this is my little bit of NBA stuff, and I've pointed this out in other ones. But this thing right here, it is one of a kind. I guarantee no one else in the world has this. It is a 2009-2010 Charlotte Bobcats preseason guide, signed by Shaq and LeBron. Because they did a preseason game at the Coliseum, and I had a media pass, and I was talking to Shaq after the game, and I was holding the guide, and I was nervous, and he just grabs it and signs it for me. I'm like, all right, cool. And I realize I'm a short guy. I blend in with the ball boys that are all teenagers, and they're all standing by LeBron with their stuff to sign. So I just kind of reach my arm out there, and he grabs it and signs it. So, as a media member, you're not supposed to get autographs, but I didn't ask for the first one, so I just said heck with it and went for it.
Yeah. Hey, one of a kind, like you said.
Yeah. No one else has that. No one else.
Who was the guy for you? I feel like everybody growing up, everybody plays that imaginary game at the hoop out in the street, and you're saying, okay, 5 seconds on the clock, you got to make this shot. Who is kind of your guy that you looked up to? Who did you pretend that you were making that shot?
Oh man, easy answer. Kobe Bean Bryant. That's the reason I wear 24. That's the reason I try to get into a mid-range game, and that's the reason I have so much passion when I play. Kobe Bean Bryant. I was always in the front yard for Kobe. That was me. Don't have his jersey, unfortunately, but that was me.
I was gonna say, were you the guy walking through the classroom, shooting the trash at the garbage bag and everything, yelling it?
I still do it now, yeah.
Did you watch The Last Dance?
I did. I did watch it. I loved it. It was great. It was great.
Do you have a
Can't wait
new
for the Kobe
Do you have a new appreciation for Jordan? I mean, I grew up I was a Jordan kid. Like I was like 8 or 9 when he was in the 10 when he was in the middle of going through those titles, but I even forgot just what he did. So you know, you obviously weren't born yet. Do you have a new appreciation for what he was other than just a name?
I do. It woke me up a little bit because everybody always says he's the greatest player of all time, but the documentary really put the cap on him because the way he did his thing and the way people was talking about him is amazing how he did what he did. Especially the flu game one. Oh my goodness, that was crazy.
I've got kind of a fun one for you now. We see all the coaches out there during practice and Barkley and everything. And can Barkley still ball a little bit?
No, not even close.
No.
Not even close. No.
You
No,
guys
no.
helped him dunk last year.
Yeah, we did. He needed a lot of help. My back's still hurting. Oh man.
Who do you think is going to step up this year? Like who's going to break out this year?
Ooh. Who is going to break out? That's a great question. You know, a lot of guys. Who's gonna break out? That's a good question. I think Sean Price. Sean Price. He was dealing with his back injury last year, so he was not able to play after Delaware State. After we played Delaware State, but he's still trying to get back into it, trying to get back right and get into shape and jumping, and he just now started jumping and all of that. So I think he's so hungry, he can't wait to get back on the court. I think it's gonna be his breakout year.
All right. Well, Nick, I don't know if you've got anything else for him.
No, I think that's it, man. This has been great. It's good to see you, man. I know we're all getting back to the office soon, so it'll be good to see you there too. But it's good to catch up here.
Likewise. Appreciate you all guys.
All right. Thanks, Flanders. Appreciate it. Phlandrous Fleming Jr., guard on the men's basketball team. Always good talking to you and look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see you guys too. Thank you so much.
That was Phlandrous Fleming Jr., guard for the men's basketball team. Always great getting to chat with Flan. And, yeah, it's good to see he's doing well, trying to learn some new things in the kitchen. His mom hopefully giving him some good recipes there for him to pick up.
Yeah, I love the chats with the student athletes because it, you know, the coaches have some direction of figuring out what to do for the next year. It's great to see and hear what these student athletes are doing creatively to pass their time other than training. And you know, Flan is a big cook, and you know, I want to try some of that Alfredo.
Yeah, he's got that secret spice. He can't give it to us, obviously. You know, we'd never pester him to ask. It's, you know, it's like magic. You never ask a magician how you do a trick.
No, but Flan, if you want to share, wink, wink. I don't know why I winked. I that was really weird, but whatever. Feel free to share, Flan.
Well, either way, always great chatting with him, and look forward to seeing what he and that men's basketball team does once the season comes back around. It was another great show this week. It's great to be back. Great to be back chatting with you, Nick, and really looking forward to next week. We got another really good show planned for next week as well.
Yeah, we've got some people already lined up, and really looking forward to chatting with some former CSU alumni. Well, they're former CSU alumni is kind of redundant, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoops. Anyway, some CSU alumni that are on from sports to other things and talking with them. We'll put it that way because that makes more sense.
There we go. Either way, everybody, want to thank you for joining us. For my partner, Nicholas Case, my name is Killian McClatchy. I want to thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next time.
Take a week off and I fall apart. It's terrible. See you next week.